Ooh.
Keyshawn, do you agree with Micah? This is a prove-it game on Sunday for the Cowboys?
You know, it's a good performance on defense will go a long ways. I don't necessarily call it a prove-it game, so to speak. They obviously want to win because you just lost a week ago. They need to improve. They need to prove a lot of things on the defensive side by stopping the run first and foremost. The last 5 games for them in terms of stopping the run, they've given up 127 yards in their last 5 home games. They've given up 31 points a game in their last 5 home games. And we talk about the Dallas Cowboys being so unbeatable at home. That's not the case when you look at the run game. Okay, run team. Think about that: 127 yards a game. Now this is a different defensive coordinator than Dan Quinn, who's moved on to Washington since then. They just gotta figure out how to slow down Lamar and Derrick Henry combination, and the Ravens on their hand have to figure out how to get the football to Derrick Henry to make that happen to the Dallas Cowboys, where they can too be a team that rushed for 127-plus yards in a game. So I don't necessarily call it a prove-it game as much as I do the defensive side of the ball just needs to play better.
I absolutely think it's a prove-it game. This is the biggest matchup of the weekend to me. The Ravens cannot lose this game. They're fighting for their season. The Cowboys are coming off of an atrocious loss to the Saints, where they got walked all over the field. The offense was terrible, couldn't run the ball, got ran all over the entirety of the game. The defense, Cowboys defense against the Saints allowed 432 total yards. The Saints rushed for 190 yards and 4 rushing touchdowns. They allowed points to be scored on 7 of 10 drives. 6 of 7 scoring drives were touchdown drives. So it's not just a prove-it game for the defense, it's a prove-it game for the offense as well. This needs to be a complete performance for the Cowboys. The Cowboys are a team that is supposed to be be for a Super Bowl, and we keep throwing the Super Bowl.
I mean, like, how many teams is competing for a Super Bowl?
Everyone is a Super Bowl contender, but they are a team that is expected to be in the playoffs and expected to try and go on a run. This is a team that's going to be really desperate. There are things to prove here, particularly with can you stop the run at all, because that's what the Ravens do. That's what the Ravens do at a very high level. So are you going to be able to put any kind of dent in that? Do you agree? It's
I 100% agree this is a prove-it game. I mean, their confidence is shaken. Let's just call a spade a spade. I mean, like he said, over the last 5 games, dating back into last season, they've been like tissue paper. You could just walk through them. You know what I'm saying? Just whoever you give it to, just go. And then you got Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry coming in. So I like the fact that, you know, Micah Parsons is stepping up, letting everybody know, hey, this is it right here. This can make or break their season right now, because if they lose this game and they get ran over again, the defensive confidence is going to be gone. And I don't see how you get it back. I just don't know, because they haven't shown it at home. Like at home, this is where you're supposed to play your best football. You give up 41 points. You give up 190 yards.
Well, they've given up 44-plus points in the last 2 home games.
In the last 2 home games, 40-plus points.
Yeah, they've given up the goods. That's what they do.
Yeah, so the defense is shaking. Like, so I 100% agree this is a prove-it. You know, put your money where your mouth is, and let's go out here and take a stand. At some point, the Dallas Cowboys have to take a stand. Just for their own psyche. You just can't have teams keep coming here and doing what they want. Teams is literally just coming in there, like, coming to their house like, hey, man, what you got to eat?
Hey,
what's in the refrigerator? Hey, man, hand me that juice over there. Like, they just literally just put their feet up on the table.
I just don't see it as a prove-it game. I think it needs to, they can certainly improve, but it's not the end of the world if they were to lose this game. They still got a bunch of games left. That's all. Just don't get destroyed. See, I got them losing. Period. I got them losing.
Yeah, you haven't started the season 2.
Yeah, I got them losing the game.
Just to reset the table.
I think they win this game.
The Cowboys starting the season 2-4, which would be a disaster.
Yeah,
but
I think they win this.
Their season isn't over if they lose this game.
No.
We'll talk about the Ravens in a second. But I do think this is a game that they need for confidence. I think it's a game that they need to quiet any kind of noise.
But see, all that is a little different than prove. Like they got to prove that they're the Dallas Cowboys. That's a little different than they need it for their confidence. They need it to stay within the race. They need all these sort of things. Yeah. That's totally different than proving something. Because you can go out there and prove that you could stop the Ravens from running the ball, and then what? Lose. And then still lose the game.
Yeah. I hear you. Well, speaking of the Ravens, Lamar is looking to avoid becoming the first reigning MVP quarterback to start 0-3 since Kurt Warner in 2002. Man. Is this a must-win game for Lamar Jackson and the Ravens?
Yes. You cannot afford to fall to 0-3 within the conference, within the division. Pittsburgh is probably going to wind up taking care of business against the Chargers. They'll go up 3-0 on you. You'll be sitting around trying to figure out what the hell just happened to this football team from a year ago. But I got them going into Dallas and winning this game. And when you talk about moving forward, their next 2 home games are against Buffalo, which is a team that will come in there and realize, okay, we got something special going on within our division. We got to win. Then you got Cincinnati. I don't know what Cincinnati is going to look like by the time they see Baltimore. But those are the 2 games after this Dallas Cowboy game that they have at home, which is in their favor, which means that you could go on a nice 3-game type streak here if you take care of business starting with the Dallas Cowboys. But it is a must-win game because you do not want to be 0-3.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Well, the chances of them making the playoffs is close to slim to none if they go down 0-3. But I'm concerned about Baltimore. I really am. I don't even know who they are. I don't even recognize this team. You know, they give up 26 points to the Oakland Raiders, and I look at them on defense. This is not the same team I saw last year on defense. I mean, they're pretty much the worst defensive team in the league. And I know it's a small sample size, a couple games, but you know, usually when you come back from a successful season record-wise, I know they didn't get to the Super Bowl, but you know, you tend to have some of the tendencies you had from a year ago, and it's not showing up on the defensive side. So I'm concerned, and like I said, if they go 0-3, they can start making vacation plans, I believe, in Baltimore.
Yeah, I don't really like.
You going with them?
It's gonna be in January. Where is it hot in January?
I mean, it's not in a lot of places in January.
Yeah, not in a lot of places.
Yeah, I just want to.
Caribbean is cool.
Oh, okay.
Bahamas.
Yeah.
Mexico.
You gonna go with them?
Yeah, I'll go with them.
Islands. It's a must-win. I don't like using the term must-win unless it really is, and this is one of those situations. It's tough to get that in week 3, but this is how it's shaken out very early. You mentioned the division. The Steelers are 2-0, obviously. The Browns are now 1-1. We don't know what the Bengals are, but the Ravens and Bengals are at the bottom of the division already at 0-2. You don't want to make that worse by starting the season 0-3. It will make it almost impossible to climb back into that division. It's already a tough division.
I've been 0-3 before. Don't feel good.
It doesn't feel good. Since 1990, the first season of the 12-team 2 wildcard playoff format, you have a 2.5% chance of making the playoffs. If you fall to 0-3 since 2020, which was the first 14-team 3 wildcard playoff format, no team has made the playoffs starting 0-3. So it does become virtually impossible to make the playoffs when you start 0-3. So it is essentially a must-win game. But outside of that, the conversations that will start to come up, it will make it even more difficult. All of the doubt that's going to seep into the building, the conversations about Lamar Jackson, the conversations about where this team is moving forward.
Hell, about Harbaugh.
About Harbaugh. Everything is going to start to spiral because I'm not the only one that has those numbers. They're aware of what they have to climb out of if that happens.
When they were struggling a couple years ago, people started talking about Harbaugh and you know, was they going to keep him? All that sort of stuff. Is it working? Are they still listening to him? All that. Then they turned it around and went on a nice run and won the division in the playoffs. Everybody said, okay, cool.
Yeah, I mean, it gets bad once you start like this. And when you're looking around the division, like the Steelers are not winning in spectacular fashion, but they could be 3-0 this weekend with a quarterback that just got sent for a 6th-round pick to Pittsburgh. You're coming off of an MVP season.
So, no, it's so crazy that you mentioned he got sent away as a 6th-round pick, and I saw something the other day where DJ Moore kind of had a little cryptic message about, well, I wasn't one that said he should have been gone. You know, he kind of like put that out there. I was like, oh, okay. So now you kind of letting people know that Justin Fields should have probably still been here with you.
Well, a lot of people think that Justin Fields, and he didn't have the best situation in Chicago to work with, and he has stepped up so far for Pittsburgh. Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.